All right, everyone. So the Super Bowl is here, and we have a pretty cool DFS lineup for you. So this is a showdown one with a captain. And one of the things I tried to do with this one is look at the way I think the game is going to go and give us a little shocking candidate in the captain spot, because that may give us a chance to cash in big if he's a low owned captain. And so, as you could tell, we have Shahid in the captain spot. Now, here's a few things. I know a lot of people are probably shocked by this. Here's a few reasons why. Number one, Shahid not only can score on, offense, but also when he's returning kicks, right? The bottom line is if we get a punt return, because I guess we'll spoil this too, because we have this defense right here, that means that guess what? We get double the points for that. So if Shahid is able to score once off a kickoff, doesn't mean he's going to, but if he can, that gives us that boost. On the flip side, Shahid is also going to be out there with the potential to catch some deep balls, right? And if he scores off one of those, I really think if he gets in the end zone, this captain play is going to be pretty good. If he doesn't get in the end zone, this lineup is probably dead. If he does get in the end zone, I think there's a lot of room here for us to cash, right? Because everyone else is not going him. And now remember, the prices of these guys goes through the roof, right? Let's try to find one. Let me, I want to see one thing. Hold on, can we hit this? Okay. So he's 11,600, right? He's 17K, Smith and Jigba, when he's in there. That's another reason I did it, because the cash savings you get by going kind of one of these other guys in the spot is big. It allows us to fill out the rest of this lineup, I think, a little bit better. Actually, let me see one thing now. If we go to Shahid, so what was that? That was about 6K difference, right? If we go to Shahid in the captain spot, hold on, let me just Shahid. Okay, he's 6,300 in that, and he is 4,200. So as you can see, there's big cash savings, right? A big difference in how expensive he is. So that's why we went him. I understand. I'm not claiming that Shahid is, a must play in the captain spot today, but it was something I went with because it gives us a little bit of a chance to break out, right, from the pack. We wanted to make sure Smith and Jigba is in there, though, right? So that's why we put him in there at 11,600. It also just came down to the fact that their problem is, especially in these showdown lineups, you don't always get necessarily a ton of options at either position, right? So if we go to flex here, you know, I could throw in Drake May, but if I have Seattle's defense, do I really think Drake May is going to be the driver of that? Not entirely sure. So maybe that's a change you could potentially make by putting in Drake May instead of Smith and Jigba with this one. But I went Smith and Jigba just because even if he doesn't have a great game, by comparison, I think he could do good enough, right? Like the bottom line is, even if we went somebody who we thought maybe could have a bigger game, like I think Smith and Jigba can catch the ball a ton. But is he worth the salary difference? That's the real question. Being in that captain spot, um, I'm not sure. Darnold. We went Darnold just because, look, I think there's a world in which Sam Darnold, has a really great game here in terms of, once again, we're judging off of, we have the salary to spend, might as well use it, in my view. We then went to, actually, I want to see one thing. Maybe we do make a change here on the fly. So if we went, do we keep, I'm wondering if we go Drake May and then Kenneth Walker, if we did this. We go Kenneth Walker and Drake May. I actually kind of like that one more. The only thing is Drake May's really only, I don't think we can go Drake May. Because the only way Drake May does anything is if he scores. He has to throw touchdowns. Oh, this is tough. You know what? We'll keep it like this. So actually, we're going to have to talk about Drake May now. I just saw Kenneth Walker's price. I said, I don't know though. You know what? We're going back to the OG. We're not changing anything. We ain't changing shit. All right, Stevenson. Okay, down to Stevenson. One of the reasons I want Stevenson in here is because I think, especially maybe late in this game, Stevenson could definitely get some little dump downs, and I don't know if he's going to get in the end zone necessarily, but I like the matchup and for him here. I know they may be airing the ball out like crazy, but that's why we have Hunter Henry, that security blanket. Hopefully, if the Patriots do score a touchdown, it's Hunter Henry. I wanted to get some Patriots in here, so we threw those two in. It's a risk. Everybody's going to be going Kenneth Walker, I think. So at the end of the day, I think we're fine with that. All right, and finally, the Seahawks defense at 4,400. I put them in because if Shaheed can run one back, we get that with the Seahawks. And I just think Drake May is going to have a turnover somewhere. He's going to fumble, throw a pick, something of the sort. And if New England struggles to score, if this is a low scoring game, I'd like to have that Seahawks defense in there. And potentially with the Seahawks defense, we get one or two touchdowns, right? If Shaheed can score, then the defense comes in and gets one somewhere. I think this is a really good chance of being a lineup that's worth it. But once again, this is a very crazy lineup, right? This is basically one of those differentiating lineups, right? Where we're not going with the kind of the chalk, we're going with everything but the chalk. And I don't hate that necessarily. There's a world in which I could go from the Seahawks defense. I'm looking at it now to one of the it's just to me the defense, if they can you're getting a free 10, and then if they can make a few plays, I really like it. So let me know what you think in the, comment section below. Some people are going to hate this lineup. I'm very nervous about this lineup, but I don't think at the end of the day that there's anything here that's like, that can't happen. We just need the right guys to have their games, right? If Shaheed is on today, this is a lineup that has going to have the ability to cash just based off the fact that not a lot of people are going to have him in that captain spot. Thank you all for watching.